Hi. All right. So, as you can see, I changed my outfit. I just took my top off and I have a tank top and I just put a scarf over my shoulders. Because, you're gonna get bored if you're gonna, watch me in every video with wearing the same thing, right? So I want to keep things exciting. All right. So, following my previous video on announcement, I want to entitle this video why I came off of Facebook. I was on Facebook since, how long has it been? What, 2011, 2012? I think I was on it years before, and then I got on it again. And anyways, at first I didn't know what I was doing. I was just, watching what other people post, and I was like a little bit, what happened in my life, and I'm gonna make another video talking about this. I got married in 2006, and in 2011 I got separated from my husband, and in 2012 in the summer my divorce became final. This is my first husband and my only husband so far. And what happened is that, I took an introductory fitness course. I started in 2011, Fitness and Wellness Introduction at Seneca College. And because I decided I want to go into the health and fitness fields. In 2010 I had my second severe depression period. The first one was in 2004. So my mom was telling me, I was living with my husband, my parents and brother. We're all living in this same townhouse, the same one as I am now. We moved in 2004. And in Canada, I'm not gonna say the city. And what happened was, my mom was telling me, okay, you cannot stay like this in depression. I had worked a job for 2 years, and they weren't, it was a telemarketing, market research survey stuff, and they weren't calling me back because my productivity wasn't, I didn't have productivity. I didn't like it. I wasn't motivated to do it. So they weren't calling me back, and I ended up like basically working there. I ended up eating a lot of chips, and from the vending machine, and coffee with milk, cream and sugar, and that ruined my health. I'm very sensitive, so I have to be very careful about the health that I put in my body. You can watch my previous nutrition videos that I made. And basically I went into depression again, very bad state. I was watching a lot of TV, I was sleeping, and I was eating all the time. So in 2010, I gained a lot of weight up until the end of the year, and I felt I was dying. I went from like 52 kilograms, which is like about 115, 116 pounds. That's how much I'm now, 52, 53, 54. 115 to 120 pounds. I went from that to about like 69, 70 kilograms. So I don't know how many pounds is that, So that was a significant increase, and I didn't look well, and I was never been fat or chubby, but I'm like not a very big build. I'm like a medium build, maybe a medium to small build, and my structure is not to be chubby. Some people's structure, they are naturally more buff, more chubbier, and they look good and they're healthy being that way, but I'm not healthy if I get like that. And it was because I was eating very, very unhealthy. So my mom was telling me, okay, come on, come on, you have to do something. So finally I decided I'm gonna take a course in health and fitness, and I did that in January, and I aced it. I think I got like an A+. I did really well. I read my textbook, I passed the 2 exams, assignments, everything, And anyways, in March of that same year, March 2011, the course finished in April. I got separated from my husband. We were having arguments, constant arguments, and I got separated, and I'm gonna talk about this in the video. Eventually, we divorced. And of course I sought the Lord, and He's been leading me back to Him. and that's for another video, because I want to talk about why I quit Facebook. So I wanted to give a little bit of history why I got on Facebook. This is why I'm telling you all this stuff. The reason that I got on Facebook is because I guess I was having problems in my marriage, and I was looking well, that's not the only reason, actually. That's not the only reason. I think the real reason, which is really who I really am, was because I wanted to connect with people. And, you know, it was fun for a while. You know, I put pictures. I was, you know, in 2012, I pursued being an actress. Didn't get very far at all. I did background acting a couple of times, literally just a few times, less than 5 times. And I ended up, you know, one of background scene that they were filming for I don't know what movie downtown, you know, or somewhere closer to downtown, maybe it was the West End, I forgot exactly where. I had to, you know, I sat and there was incense, and I inhaled incense for like 8 hours, and the time there was like 12 hours. So at first it was very cold in the day, and we had to wear just I was wearing a peasant dress, you know, made probably of sackcloth. And I inhaled incense, and after that I was just not feeling well. I ended up feeling, I started coughing is what happened. And after that the sun got really hot and I was coughing, and I got really angry, and I felt that they really are not taking care of the people. And I left from there in a huff and a puff. I was just angry. The director ended up chasing me. They're trying, like, another lady was like, well, you should get your money. And I said, no, I don't want to be paid for this, because I use that as a sign to never go back to that industry again. This was, I think, in 2012. And, you know, it was just always the Lord leading me, but I was seeking, you know, like, okay, so what am I gonna do now? You know, that, it was 2012 or 2013. You know, yeah. So anyways, I was distressed that day. I got lost trying to get home. I couldn't find my way. I was like, just because I was so upset. And anyways, I posted a note on Facebook. You know, I was like, it took me like 2 hours just to find a bus. I was just so upset. So I had to just sit down, you know, beside like the highway. It was like some grass, a portion of grass, just to calm down, and I drank my water or juice, and after that I found my way home. And I got on Facebook, and I was on Facebook rather, and you know, I posted pictures of myself, you know, likes, but then I realized that whether I got many likes or few, it left me empty. So it didn't really bring me any satisfaction. You know, I noticed other people were like picking up momentum on Facebook. They got a few likes, and then, whoa, hundreds of likes, and wow, 121 friends, and 200 friends, and 300 likes, and they were like so popular, right? So I'm like, well, why can't I pick up the momentum, you know, on Facebook, right? And anyways, in time, as I kept seeking the Lord, you know, he kept leading me slowly, little by little. I was reading my Bible every day. I still do. Although I haven't read today, to be honest with you. I'll read after, you know. And, I'm trying to hold the camera. So, you know, I started to post about the Lord, you know. And the Lord put several, you know, people in my life, you know, and ignited the passion even further about the Lord. And so I ended up posting a lot, and I was quite involved. If I get involved in something, right, I tend to get really involved, like go deep in it. And I realized that nobody was really appreciating. I mean, I could see from my pages, I couldn't see from my timeline, but from my pages, because when you make a page on Facebook, you can see how many people check your post. You cannot see who is checking it, and you cannot see whether they read like first paragraph or the whole thing, went through the whole thing, if the post has like more pages. I mean, more photos attached to it or whatever. you know, and then I realized I'm not really making, you know, I was unhappy. I wasn't connecting with people in a real way. I felt I wasn't truly making a difference for the Lord. And nobody really cared to check my posts, and they weren't taking me seriously. And I didn't like it. It didn't make me, it made me angry. It made me feel upset. And of course, the Lord, I believe He really was leading me to come off of Facebook. You know, I did in November. I did in November for like 3 weeks, from the 1st to like the 20th or 23rd or something. Then I came back on, and for the remainder of November and December, I was on Facebook again, and again I didn't feel well. I did some things for which I'm sorry. I you know, wrote to some friends something that wasn't, you know, I didn't behave with them in the love of Christ. I was trying to help them. I was trying to correct them, but I was mean. I was rude. Just because I was upset at their situation because they were going through hard things. So then I realized that, well, Facebook is not, you know, is not for me. And you're welcome to come off of Facebook if you want, so that you can have real life interaction. So anyway, I'd say that YouTube is better because you can really, you can listen to people, to what they really have to say. And if you perceive that they're not quite living in truth, they're not really searching for truth, and therefore they're not speaking in truth, you have the freedom to not watch them anymore. But it's not nearly as addictive as Facebook. I found Facebook to be very addictive. Like with YouTube, I can much better control who I listen to, and generally I started to listen to people that are on the narrow path. So if you go over, now you're on my videos, if you go over to channels, just a few tabs over, you know, from my YouTube channel, there's home there. So the YouTube channel, right, it has home, videos, playlists, channels, discussion, and about. So if you go over to channels, you will see all the channels that I'm subscribed to, okay? And these are people that, you know, I believe the Lord has, you know, has led me to watch in the past few years. I haven't just discovered them, although some of them I've recently subscribed to them. I've been watching them since maybe 2013, 2014, and of course others as well. But I perceive they're on the narrow path. So I look at them as my brothers and sisters in the Lord. Although we don't necessarily like talk, I don't actually personally talk to any of them, but I perceive that because the Lord has given me the gift of discernment in a certain measure, and of course the Lord can always sharpen this gift if we allow Him and seek Him out on it and are obedient to Him. But it's very important, as Brandy was talking about, her channel name is Bran. She changed it a couple times, and one of her videos was that she also, you know, that Facebook is demonic, and she was, you know, mentioning a while ago, some months ago, why she herself came off of Facebook. I checked her out on Facebook when I was on Facebook, but I wanted to contact her, but then I'm like, oh, I better not, because, you know, if she has discernment, I didn't want to have trouble, you know, if, you know, she can discern something that's whatever, not right about me. But I was genuinely looking to have friends. And what happened also in 2011, the same year that I separated from my husband, was I prayed for true friends. And I told the Lord that I wanted to be a true friend, and I've asked Him for true friends. And He's been working. He's definitely working in my, you know, day-to-day life. Not to say real life, because this YouTube channel is real as well. I'm real here on your screen. But obviously, it's not enough to just talk to each other through YouTube or Skype. We want to have people in person that we can actually connect with, and just nothing can replace in-person interaction. There's just no substitute for it. It's just so amazing. It's just, oh, it's from the Lord. And no technology will ever be able to replace what God has created and the way He has ordained things to be. So, you know, I prayed for true friends, and the reason I came off of Facebook was because I felt, you know, nobody was appreciating what I was posting. They weren't my true friends. the ones that did come to the Lord, they were posting too, but again, very few likes compared to people's postings that were not in the Lord. So people posting that were not posting in the Lord, just popular things of the world, not on the narrow path, are much popular than people that speak the truth, you know, even on YouTube. But I don't care. My point isn't to be popular with the world. My point is to get people from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light. This is the point. I want to be a warrior of light. And so then I cannot operate with the same, with all the weapons that the enemy and his people operate with. We don't operate with lies, deception, violence, aggressiveness, you know, forcing somebody to do something. And of course I have to guard against it because, you know, I can be quite controlling by nature. I've been told by my family members that I'm controlling, so, you know, I don't want to be controlling, you know. Even if, you know, I try to be, somebody can tell me, okay, look, you know, back off, you're not doing this right. So we got to speak the truth to one another, because if you tell me the truth and if you don't accept, right, for example, me treating you in an inappropriate way, or I don't accept you treating me in an inappropriate way, we really do one another a true favor, okay? We're really helping one another walk the true and narrow path that leads to life, to eternal life, that leads to God. And it's the only path that brings true satisfaction and true blessings and anything that is true and real, and that is true love, okay? So being encouraged by Brand speaking, you know, about coming off Facebook, I meditated, you know, so finally I came off and I gave it up for good. I just went on just to give my email to a certain friends that I wanted to keep in touch with. I offered my email if they ever want to contact me. I told them I'm coming off of Facebook, and that's it. And my idea was I wanted to, you know, have more real life interaction with people, you know, that the Lord has put in my path, and anyone that He's gonna continue to bring in my life, you know, new people. And that was the point, you know, that was the point. And speak the truth to one another and really love one another in Christ, you know, with His love, which is the greatest and the deepest love, the way that He commands us to love one another. So whether we feel like it or not, whether we want to or not, whether we agree with it or not, God's commandment is eternal. It will always remain. Love one another as I have loved you. This is my commandment to you. Love one another. So that's what He told His disciples when He was with them on earth. He says, love one another as I have loved you, right? He washed their feet as a symbol of humility, as a symbol of laying one's life down for his friends. And of course, the ultimate symbol of that was Him being crucified on the cross, truly laying His life down in every way, spiritually, physically, in every way, so that in Him we will have life if we renounce our sins and, you know, and just live our new life in Christ, as I spoke about in my previous videos. Okay, my encouragement for anybody to come to the Lord, it's wonderful. It's just the truth. Don't be afraid of the truth. It's just wonderful. It's going to liberate you, set you free, and let you be who you really are. Let you find out. It will allow you will allow yourself to allow God to reveal to you who you really are, who He created you to truly be. Okay? So you're going to go back to that original design if you choose Jesus. He's not going to rob you of anything that's truly good for you. He's just going to rob you of the lies, of the deception, of the inflated ego, of the inflated pride. We all struggle with that, with ego and pride. That is not of God, is of the enemy. And He's going to reveal to you many, many things. Okay? So definitely it's being on God's team is being on the winning team. The tragedy is that most people will not choose God. And that just gets me to be severely depressed whenever I meditate on it. So I try not to think about it too much. It disturbs me. It's not right. Anyways. So, this is what this video is about. Just, you know, talking freely. I appreciate the fact that we do have freedom of speech here in North America. At least there's other parts of the world. Like Brand says, definitely It's priceless. It's from God to have freedom of speech. Of course, freedom of speech doesn't mean we're free to be rude and mean to one another. No, we have to understand this freedom, because all this freedom that the government says, freedom of speech, freedom to do this, freedom to do that, is really freedom from God. Okay? So because we are freed from the law, right? We will be, we're accountable to God. So being truly free to speak our mind and to do whatever we want does not release us from our accountability and our responsibility before our God. If anything, it will make us more accountable. Because when we don't have freedom, when people don't have freedom and they're forced to do certain things, then they're not held as accountable. Okay, I read this, I believe, in the book Believe by Rich DeVos, Amway's founder. Okay, so basically, when you don't have freedom, well, you can't be held accountable because you don't. But when you have freedom, then all the more you're going to be held accountable and responsible, because you're going to be accountable to the one that provided you freely with that freedom. So that doesn't mean that we're truly free to live any way we please, because any way we please, a lot of it may be sinful. So that doesn't mean that every freedom is okay. So we have to understand our freedom correctly, and the true freedom is a narrow path, which is holiness. Okay, freedom from sin. I'm not saying that to say that I'm perfect and here you have the most perfect Christian in the world. No, no, no. I'm the biggest sinner that I know, and I have to, always keep that in my mind, that I cannot judge, as in condemn someone else. We are called to judge rightly. Okay, but we're not called to condemn. That belongs to God alone. But we are to speak the truth. And the truth is that our freedom is in the Lord. That's where the government, the U.S. government, has their, freedoms and, what is it called? The word is escaping me right now. They outlined laws, regulations, anyways. So yeah. Our freedom comes from God. It is freely given, but we are accountable for how we use it. We cannot use our freedom anyway. Okay, that's why, like, for example, I'm not condemning anybody, but the government, legalizes gay marriage. Well, again, God makes it clear that is not normal. It's not natural. That is sinful. Okay, people shouldn't engage in that type of activity because it's incorrect. It's not on the narrow path. Again, violence. Well, I'm free. I'm free to I'm free to do what I want. So I can just buy a gun and put a bullet in in someone's head, kill them, and then put a bullet in my own head. No, God says, do not murder. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not commit immorality. Okay, so we're not free to do anything. We're free to we are free to live free from sin. We're free to live holy. That's what he means. And this, it's a discipline. We're free to go upward in the Lord. That's what we're free to do. Say, well, I can really do that other stuff if I want to. Well, yeah, you can, as in God will honor your choice. And that means you will reap the consequence, the dire consequence. You don't want to reap the consequence of that type of action. So be very careful how you think about things. But anyway, this video was just meant for to talk about why I came off of Facebook, and to encourage anybody that wants to do the same. And you can listen to me speak here. Feel free to listen to the channels that I'm subscribed to. You will gain so much. It'll help you get anchored in the Lord. It'll possibly lead you to reading the Bible. That is my desire for people. Just spend time with the Lord. Read the Bible, pray to Him, just spend time with Him, let Him reveal things to you, and let Him lead you, and He will lead you. It'll take time, but He's going to cleanse you out. He's going to do the healing work. He's going to show you how to live in every way, pure and holy before Him. you know, from schedule every day, eating, sleeping, you know, sleeping earlier at night so you can get up earlier. It's healthier than staying up later. So, you know, by 10 or 11 p.m., even 11 p.m. is late for me. I don't always keep it, but I'm striving for it as much as I can. Eating right and healthy, you know, and exercising, calming my mind, listening to classical music and all of that. And now, you know, just being more focused on a possible career path in health and fitness, and, you know, and on, you know, making true friends. This is what I've asked the Lord for. So it's about making true friends and keeping them, obviously, friends for life. And it takes a total commitment. Just like the commitment a person has with their God, right? A daily commitment of talking to Him and seeking Him out and then obeying Him. And also in marriage, it should be the same, okay? It should be a daily commitment of working on the relationship. True friendships are no different. It's the same love. It's the love of the Lord, the love of Jesus. So obviously in a true friendship, you wouldn't do all the things that you do in a marriage. You don't have the, you know, physical intimacy and union, and you don't talk about every single detail and aspect of like finances and other stuff, but it's very similar because you will talk in depth about many things, and it's very similar to a marriage because you know, you will lay your life down for one another and you know, make a total commitment. Make a total commitment to this person or to these people that the Lord puts in your life. And if we don't make this sort of commitment, or if one person is willing to make this commitment to be a true friend and the other person isn't, the friendship cannot work. This is why certain friends I've had, I no longer keep in touch with them because it just didn't work out. The Lord revealed to me some things about them. They're not there yet. They're not at the point where they're ready to lay their life down for me. They're just not there. You know, although they could be my age or older or younger, it doesn't matter the age. But you have to, you know, go through certain things and make certain choices in life to get there, and you have to fight to find your way and fight for your faith. So it's not like you don't get there all of a sudden. It takes a lot of work and it takes a fight. So you got to be a fierce warrior for your faith, and to fight for the truth, and then to commit to recognize the truth, and then once the Lord reveals it to you, to accept it, and then to start on this new path. So I want to be, because I cannot ask for true friends if I'm not willing to be a true friend. I want to be a friend that is allowing herself to be corrected by my true friends, to be loved by them passionately, and to be taught by them, and in turn to do all these things to them, to correct them, to love them passionately, and to teach them, you know, all in the Lord, you know, according to the Lord's guidance, of course, you know, and to just share the deep things, you know, how the Lord is leading me into all aspects of health. Okay, which is awesome. So just continuing with my next topic. I'm not sure what it'll be, but I'll figure it out by the time I'll start the next video. Have a wonderful day.